It's time for the Cool Kids Countdown.
Ten, nine, eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one, zero.
All right, we're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STS Pod Club production. I'm BT, and that's Lance. Lance over there. You know what he told me? That guy over there told me. He said there's no difference between buying socks and being connected. Is it though? Is there a difference, Lance? I think there is. He is from Chicago, the home of the best damn pizza in the world. Snark of excellence, my partner in crime. He is Lance Levine doing episode 699, baby. Woo!
I think that joke was kind of like a New York Post or New York Times joke or whatever that magazine.
I give credit to
I'm
American
like,
Dad for that one. So yeah, it was
what does
really
that even
off.
mean?
Had no idea what I was talking about or doing. But
I am in the IHOP coffee studios today.
Oh yeah, I've always said I can't wait to go to IHOP to get.
I can't wait to try that
coffee. It is like the worst coffee ever when you're sitting in there. It is.
We got that weird golden coffee pot too.
Yeah. So. The thing about it is, it reminds me of the coffee you used to get for like a dime at the
gas station.
At the the gas station. Guys, I'm just going to tell you something. We've had a little bit of technical difficulties, confusion before we got ready to start recording. But as soon as I said 699, episode 699, me and Lance are back on track and we're ready to go, baby. This is Cool Kids 139. Can you believe it? And we started with this, didn't we? This is the first Cool Kids Countdown 7 years ago. Yeah, 10, and it was all a joke. I was making a joke because Lance hates Sean Spears. So this is 10 moments, Mania moments from this past weekend. Lance, get it started. Anything else you want to say about the show?
It was just fun. The fun fact that we've been doing this for 7 years, just
7 years. Wow.
And I promise I will not hit you with a 699. Please don't hit me with a 699 either. So
you can join us, by the way, but just think about it. As of Saturday, you could join us for episode 700. It'll be a rolling into Memphis, and then me and Lance will be back next week for WTF. Just want to tell you that news real quick. 700 episodes. And I kind of started thinking about it, and I think I'll talk about this on WTF a little bit more. But I think think I actually recorded something on every episode. You know, sometimes I borrowed episodes from people and stuff, but I think I've recorded my voice is on all 700. So, all right, get started, man. I'll shut up.
All right. So it's our top 10 takeaways from WrestleMania weekend. We are focusing primarily on the 2 nights of WrestleMania. We have some other stuff we're going to talk about on the Patreon, but our 10 things that we are that most into. We put together our list as usual. We agreed on the top 6, so that's a pretty fair amount. We agreed on this time, and not like the April 1st edition. But we agreed on the top 6, so our 4 bottom feeders are the 10 through 7 here. You, of course, have the odds. I have the evens.
Always the odds.
So we're going to get started with my first pick at number 10 is Trish's gear. That was like the talk of the internet during that match was Trish's gear because Trish looked so amazing. In that match, in the 3-person trios match, whatever the hell it was. And I will say, the match was a mess. Trios.
I loved it. I had a great time with that match.
I thought that match was a mess. I thought the heels did the best they could to hold it together, and I thought when Becky was in, it was fine. Lita, I've said this before. Lita has no business being in there right now. She's just clunky, rusty, not ready.
See, I didn't see nothing wrong with the match. I had a good time with it.
I just think Lita just is so clunky right now. Trish, I thought for as much time as she had off, I thought she was fine. But I don't know how Trish stayed in her top. But anyway, Becky winning the match, pinning Bayley. Like I said, to me, that was about the only time the match was any good, was when Becky was in with the heels.
Yeah, so, I did not make a note of Trish's gear at any time during those pay-per-views.
How could you not? I mean,
because you type that on Google and see anything you want to see. Trish, Maya did something for me back in the day, but Jesus, I'm not 12 years old anymore. No, didn't do anything for me. Trish's gear. Now, number 9. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to talk bad about her.
Number 9 is your first pick, so that is the Finn Balor and Edge Hell in the Cell match. So I thought Finn Balor looked like the pygmy from Trilogy of Terror. I thought he just looked really bizarre in that whole getup that he was
loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yes, loved it.
I thought I was enjoying the match. I love that spot where somebody gets pinned in the corner with the kendo stick.
Oh, I love that too.
They run the kendo stick across
Who
the cage.
did that first? The Usos did that first, didn't they?
I think so, yeah.
Usos
and New Day. I think that was Usos and New Day.
Yep.
But obviously, Balor got busted open by a ladder. The match came to a screeching halt. WWE does that weird thing where they can't show it, and they just do everything they can to have the cameras elsewhere.
And they were following Edge around, and you could see the look on his face going, what the fuck?
To his credit, he was putzing around with, like, toolboxes and ladders and shit, and Edge was doing everything he could just to stall for time until they were ready to go again. And then Balor comes back. He goes for that coup de grace, or whatever it's called, off the cage. Edge rolls off the table, but Edge ends up winning with the concerto. Despite the delay of game in the middle of the match, I enjoyed it. So that was your.
Well, I did too. I loved it. Did you get to see they put staples in his head in the ring? I told the wife, I said, if this was AEW, the blood would have been just squirting out like this, straight out up in the air, and
cameras zooming
in. It'd been like a fountain. Too. Yeah. I thought I just was like, wow, this match is over. I thought until I'd seen the blood, but until I saw the staples and that they did it in the ring after Mania, I thought that he had just knocked himself out because that ladder, it hit fucking hard. And I mean, that's what busted him open. I was like, oh, he knocked out. Because he got stapled. And that Emperor took off, man. He did not slow down again. He looked awesome during the rest of the match. I love these two guys. I love the entrances. I think there was kind of a snafu or something with the Edges when they first got started out. But I'm a huge mark for Finn and Edge both, so I absolutely loved it. So
yeah, I really enjoyed it, and like you said, they didn't go right to the finish.
No, I bet he said, "I'm finishing this match."
Yep.
But he's going to have a good scar for that.
Oh man, yeah, that just kudos to both of them. Like I said, for Finn, obviously with the injury and continuing on, but Edge doing the best he could to distract the fact that nothing was happening for a couple of minutes in the middle there. So, all right, number 8 is my next pick. It's a very simple statement. The fact that we got 3 5-star matches at WrestleMania, I added it up. You basically had 6 matches each night. That Miz crap both nights. You had 12 matches total. And in my book, you had 3 5-star matches.
All right, go ahead. I want you to tell me which, all 3, and I'm not going to tell you what. I'm not into stars as much as you are now.
We're going to talk about them throughout the.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Show, but Roman and Cody was a 5-star match.
Right.
Usos, Zayn, and KO was.
No, not at all.
And
no.
Gunther was a 5-star match.
I would give you that one, but Usos was all drama. If you want to go stars and it was just a typical tag team match. I liked it. No doubt about it. I liked it, but I didn't think it was 5 stars. I thought both girl matches and we'll talk about that. Both of the main girl title matches got closer to 5 stars than Zayn Zayn and Usos.
So
Yeah, Zayn
in
and
my
KO
ratings,
and Usos.
I had 3 5s and I had 3 4s. So I mean, there was very little bad on this show. Honestly,
Let me
I thought there
say
was very
something,
little
Lance.
bad.
Let me say something about this show and your stars. I'm going to say something. Best pay-per-view ever.
Wrong.
Yes,
Incorrect.
this is the best pay-per-view ever.
Incorrect.
You know why? Because it's made
Incorrect.
more money than any pay-per-view ever. This is the best pay-per-view ever. Lance, did you know that even Dave didn't think that was the best AEW pay-per-view of all time? He didn't think it was the best AEW pay-per-view of all time. But yes, I will go on record saying this is the best pay-per-view ever. So there you go.
Not the best pay-per-view ever because it started with 2 shit matches each night.
Loved it. Loved the whole show.
So,
Loved the absolutely
all
the
right.
whole show.
At number 7.
Started with you didn't like Brock, and you don't understand big guy matches at all. I forget about that. You hate big guys, so
I just hate bad matches. So all right,
not a bad match.
At number 7 was your final pick before we start merging them. So it is Shane and Snoop Dogg, the whole fiasco there. I'm going to let you dominate that because I honestly went to the bathroom because I had no interest in any of that shit. I did not see Shane McMahon get hurt. I could care less about Snoop Dogg. And
what's your hate with Snoop Dogg? Is what I
just think
know.
he's talentless. I think he's talentless, and he's made $1 billion.
Yeah, you're probably
the
only person. Do you have any idea how many albums this guy sold?
Oh yeah, of course.
I think he's got all kinds of talent. I've always been a fan of Snoop Dogg's. This was not Snoop Dogg. It was kind of Miz too, but they gave a lot of the credit to Jessica, the referee. Apparently, as soon as the leg went down, Miz said, "Go over, tell him to punch me. Go over, tell him this." Hey, the reason I like this so much is I could not believe that they ad-libbed so quick. There's always all these jokes about Stoop's high or Stoop probably, dope smokers are all stupid. So right there, he showed he had a brain, and they went right to a finish for a match that they had not even planned. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Shane, I was popping for Shane. I love Shane, so I was popping for Shane. And then all of a sudden he got hurt. I said, "Oh, fuck. What are they fixing to do?" So I just thought they were going to. I thought it was over, and then all of a sudden we see Snoop Dogg win a match against Miz. So big thumbs up to the whole crew there for deciding, hey, Shane's not coming back. Let's end the match. I love stuff like that. I was thinking right before we started recording if I've ever had to do that. I was a tag team guy, and we had. I know you don't know that, but
you don't say.
I was trying to think about how many I have probably managed at just at least 500 dates, okay? 500 shows, managed more than once on some shows. I can't remember having to ad-lib or somebody got hurt, go to the finish. I know I went to the finish a couple of times when the match was just so shitty. Like they lost control of the whole match, and I would say, "We're done. Go to the finish." And I've had to do that a couple times, but I don't remember ever just stopping a match right in the middle of it, or there's something that went wrong and we changed the whole finish or anything like that. But I also don't know where I put my phone at. So that might be, I can't find my phone unless I do find my device. And so we might have had that's a lot of shows to do and things to remember, but I can't. Big thumbs up to those guys, though. That was calling it in the ring.
Calling it in the ring, yeah. When Shane came out, I don't hate Shane. I just think that
I thought you liked him. Yeah.
I do. I actually did like Shane.
Yeah.
He would they thrust him in matches with Kurt Angle and stuff, and I'm like,
I love that match. Wow. Yeah.
He always does the death-defying, the shit off the top of the cage and stuff. So I don't hate Shane, but I just had no interest in seeing Shane there.
I don't know. I popped. I had such a good time with these two pay-per-views. It was like I was a fan again.
When Shane came out, I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom because nothing's going to happen here. I literally missed the injury, and I didn't care enough about it to rewind or anything.
You should see it. You should see them going to. It's art. It's what it is. I guess when you're in the entertainment business, like a guy like Snoop and a guy like Miz, who's been in wrestling forever, they've had stuff like that happen where they have to just live and
Miz,
have a
yeah.
good time. So yeah.
Miz. I don't know about Snoop because he hasn't been in the ring, So
No, but he probably has, like the guitarist didn't show. Wait,
yeah,
he don't have a band, does he? The DJ didn't show up. There we go. That shows you
yeah,
how much I know about rap.
about rap. So,
All right,
all
number
right.
6.
Number 6. This is where we start agreeing on our picks. So number 6 is Logan Paul excelling in the ring again with Freakin' this time. You had it at number 10. I had it at number 7. So it's our number 6 pick. This guy Logan Paul just continues to impress. He's never had a bad match. I mean, granted, he's only had about 4 matches, but he's never had a bad match. This guy is always good. He zip lines in, a la HK. He's so annoying. He's such a natural heel. They've got that stupid inflatable prime drink, which was KSI.
You knew there was something going on there.
Yeah, obviously. And I'm like looking at the arms that are sticking out of it. I'm like, it's not one of the wrestlers. It's some manager type or something because it was like
you act like you knew who that was. Did you know who that was? Oh, all right.
No,
all right,
not at
bad,
all.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You'll be
I was
cool.
being sarcastic.
Yeah.
KSI. I'm like, who the hell is KSI? It was cheesy all the way. Like they had the orchestra conductor doing the Rollins song at the beginning. It was so.
Oh,
campy.
I loved that. I loved that.
It was campy, like bad entertainment. That was so bad it was good.
Oh,
and then the stupid inflatable guy. But Paul is just such a natural heel. He's a natural at doing the wrestling too. Like as much as they practiced it or
so
whatever,
good. Think
he's
about
so
it.
Good.
Oh.
So he like the whole timing and choreography of the table stunt when the dude in the bottle was laying on Rollins pulled him on the table.
Right.
And just right, all the timing of it was just perfect. So I really enjoyed it. Just another great match with Logan Paul. I hope he's not done with doing this. I hope he comes back for some more. 4-star match for me. So I really enjoyed it.
I love watching him in the ring. I can't listen to his podcast.
Right.
I know I've watched some of the stuff or heard the stories of some of the underhanded business deals that he's done and stuff like that. I loved, but I'm also behind anyone that comes up with the energy drink, and it's so effing successful. This guy, and he almost touches everything. This kind of guy that you would for sure hate in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, he played football. He got the best girlfriend. He hit a 3-pointer to win the game. But everything this guy touches almost, it turns to gold. Big thumbs up. Rollins also, I think all of us just kind of forget how good he really is. Reigns being so good, Moxley being so good, and then we kind of forget Rollins. Those 3 guys, man, all came up in NXT together, went to the main roster together, and still putting on some of the best matches on all the cards. I like Rollins every time I see him, but I kind of forget about him. It's kind of like, I don't know why, but I just do. And I love that whole song and all that. And I love the cheesy thing about the guy dressed up like a energy drink. And I always wanted to do booking things where there was a Santa Claus or there was something outside the ring and that they interfered. I love stuff like that for some reason. And that was done really well. And you said it was who now?
In the bottle? KSI.
Yeah, KSI.
No idea.
Yeah, you're an insider,
no idea.
man.
Yeah, right. I love the fact that when the mask got pulled off of the drink, I think it was Cole was announcing that one, but immediately says, "Oh, it's KSI." I'm like, "Who? How do you know this?"
Right.
It was hilarious. But I will say this about Rollins. I agree with you. He's a great worker. He always has been a great worker. Maybe part of it, I don't know. This is speculation.
Well, maybe you got a theory. Tell me.
Maybe part of it is that we kind of forget about him because the character is so goofy and weird and kind of doesn't make any sense. And he was a heel doing the exact same bit with the laugh and the dancing and the weird clothes and stuff. And all of a sudden, because of the song, now he's a face. There was nothing done to make him a face. So part of it for me is the character kind of sucks. I'm not a fan of the character.
Really? I love the character. You know where you got it from, don't you?
Oh, that's the Joker. I mean,
yeah.
I guess it's the Joker, but I mean, I don't know. It's an annoying, kind of grating character. And now that you're telling me it's a babyface, it kind of makes it even more annoying to me. But I love, and the 3 guys you talked about, I love the Reigns character. I love the Moxley character, But there's just something about the Rollins character that's just annoying and just there, you know.
But
That notwithstanding, the ring work is excellent. He held this match together with this novice, and it was just a fantastic match.
Well, the thing about it is, everyone's had a good match with this kid. So I mean, he could be a star, but I don't think he has enough time to be a star. So he can do all the big matches, but he's got all this other stuff he's got going.
Yeah.
All right, man. If you are listening to this on the main feed only, we take a quick commercial break here, and it will tell you about ArizonaBayCoffee.com.
Woo.
Order your morning shiznit. Lance and I both had a morning shiznit. A cup of morning shiznit this morning. It has it starts with kind of a fruity taste, and then on the back end you get a cocoa or chocolate
taste.
Palate.
Look at this.
Oh man! Well, I'm a coffee connoisseur.
Insider.
So yeah.
Coffee insider.
Very, very good. All right, guys. We'll come back and we'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. We're back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Lance, go with 5. You got any shout outs or anything? I got a real quick shout out. I want to shout out to my buddy Bull again, because I have this thing that I do that probably annoys everybody in the world.
Yes, it does.
I will not talk about the pay-per-view. If Lance and I are recording something about a pay-per-view, I won't talk about it. I won't read about it. I won't do anything. Won't read other people's opinions of it until we record. And then I'll talk about it here. And then, because I don't want to know anything that Lance liked, disliked, whatever. Anything I got this list. And Bull has been messaging me ever since going, can we talk now? Can we talk now? Thank you for waiting. We can talk now after we get done here, Bull. Thanks a lot, man.
So you had no clue that I like Trish's gear.
I figured you did, but yeah, I just.
All right. Back to the countdown.
Not here, but talked about the whole celebrity.
All right. At number 5. We've got the Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus banger at number 5.
I still call him Walter because I'm cool.
And all in caps, too.
Yep.
We have that at number 5. We agreed on that one. So you had it at number 8. I had it at number 2. It was really high up there on my list. So
you love these guys, though. I think you do. You just love them.
Yeah. Big strapping men that are just beating the shit out of each other. So
God, that's making me hot just thinking about it.
Expected mutual brutality, everything that we expected it to be. It was them clubbering on each other. It was a chop fest, just insane violence. They hit each other. They hit all of the finishes, and they all kicked out of the finishes. But I think Drew did some great dives for a guy his size. I thought about it during the course of the match. I'm like, I think they're going to keep the belt on Gunther because they want to keep Drew and Sheamus at the same level. I don't think they were going to put, as much as the crowd seemed to want Sheamus to be the winner there, and tell me I would have ever had that on my bingo card in 2023, Sheamus being as over as he is, and me caring about Sheamus as much as I do. But I think that they wanted to keep them either at the same level or they're going to make them tag champs at some point. But I didn't think they wanted to elevate one over the other and make one look bad. So I thought that was the finish that I would have expected, is that Gunther retained. So just a fantastic match. I had it at 5. I
really think you thought too much into that, or I didn't think. I just had a good time with the match. I love watching these three guys. I'm that kind of weird guy when it comes to Sheamus because I've always liked him. Always, if he had a match on the pay-per-view with anyone that was at his level, I was watching it and I always liked it. I seem to like his matches more than the average fan likes them. Mm-hmm. Like, I really liked, and you're not going to believe this, you think I'm just saying this, but I liked the first match. I love Lesnar. Lesnar's one of my favorite, and I love the big guys, and I like to see almost wrestle for some reason. And everybody else is like, what are you saying? Yeah. But I do. I like what they do with the big guys. These guys, I like what they do. Like you said, just watching them, a banger. 3 guys who are so good at what they do.
Yeah.
I didn't think. I think they're all on the same level, kind of. But you got a guy like him. Who does he wrestle next? Maybe one of these again, or there might be someone else challenging. But Walter is being He was an indie darling for a long time. I didn't see a lot of him until he came to NXT and when he was in NXT. And then I got to see a lot of him. And I was very first matches, I'm just not one of those guys. You love that. You love just the beating that all the guys take. I don't always like that until I can see that he can work because and honestly, Lance, you could get out there and chop somebody for 20 minutes. Well, maybe 5, but you can still get out there and do it. But these guys put on hell of a match, like you said, a banger. I think I gave it 4.25 or 4.5, so I didn't go 5. But yeah, great match, great match.
Yeah, I love watching those guys work. And I remember about a month ago, when it seemed like, watching SmackDown like I do, it seemed like they were gearing towards that three-way match. They were gearing towards this match. They kept doing the various eliminations.
Well, you're an insider. You started promoting it before.
I knew right away.
You promoted it before they even said anything about it.
That's right. So when they were doing it was the two of them, and they tied in the match, and then they did the match with each other.
That's right. You actually said something in the Cool Kids. By the way, if you go to stspod.club and the link of all links, you can join us. You actually said something about it being a triple threat. And I said, have they announced that yet? You said, nope. That's what they're leading to. And I was like, I just laughed. I was like, how the fuck does he know? But that's what you were saying. But Lance, I forgot to say something. I really did. I forgot this, and I'm so sorry. It's a little bit about an hour and 23 minutes before Dynamite comes on. And because we were insiders, I was going to tell y'all the big announcement. So get the big announcement
early.
I was going to do it at break, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. So if you're still with us, the big announcement for AEW tonight is Tony Khan is actually moving out of his mom's basement. Yep, he is. Tony Khan is moving out of his mom's basement.
I was under the impression it was that he was merging Dark and Elevation, and he's
man, would that be awesome or what? Oh,
he's merging the two shows, and it's gonna be called Dark Irrelevance. So anyway,
do you know he's had like 20 big announcements since they started?
Well, I said it's like from the law of diminishing returns because every other week, I feel like it's every other week now or every 3 weeks. Tony Khan has a big announcement. It's pretty soon. It's going to be he tied both shoes in the same day or whatever that level. So all right, at number 4 we have the Dominic and Rey Mysterio saga at number 4. So you had it at number 5. I had it at number 4. So pretty close on that. Dominic being brought out to the ring in the police van, wearing the Rey Mysterio mask. Some brilliant stuff there.
Yeah.
And then the Cinemoji guy coming out. I don't know what that was all about. I thought when I saw
it's
that,
called money sponsor.
Why is KSI out there in another outfit? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So Dominic, and I said this on a recent show. Who saw this coming? That this guy was going to be the heat magnet that this guy is. Just an amazing. They've brought him along perfectly. He's doing such a great job. When he threw the cup of water at his sister, I popped so big for that.
Oh, so awesome.
I thought for sure that Mom was going to spray him with water or something, but he sprays the sister with water. So I just loved it. So Judgment Day comes out. Dom hits a 619, and I'm like, the disrespect of Dom hitting a 619 on his father. So just seeing the mom and the sister cheering at ringside, I just loved it. Everything about this match. And then Baboni, of course, Baboni getting involved. So obviously they're setting up Baboni versus Dom or some configuration of that in Puerto Rico. But just the drama, everything about it. The match itself in terms of the ring wrestling.
Baboni? Who's Baboni?
Baboni. The big worldwide star that's, that they're bringing along.
Okay, all right.
Baboni. Anyway, so the drama of it all, just the ring work was okay. It was pretty good. But I will say the drama of it all was almost 4 stars just for the whole storyline. So I just loved it. Everything about it. Ray.
I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, I actually wrote down the comment about this match is Dom has his first 4-star match. That's what I put it as. It's just like you said, I can't really say anything. Everything you said is correct. It was a really, really well put together match. I liked the spot with the water, and we got to see Ray's wife again. And, I like seeing Ray's wife. And it just well done. The whole storyline, everything they've been doing with this, I can't, like I said, I can't wait to see. Well, they did some stuff on Raw with it, so it'll be exciting to see. Puerto Rico will be real hot with Dom
Mm-hmm.
and Bad Bunny, so
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead.
I think that'll end up being a tag match.
Yeah, I figured too.
At
Yeah,
first, I thought it was going to be Bad Bunny against Dom, but they probably don't have quite enough confidence. I thought Bad Bunny got hurt on Monday. I don't know about you, but I thought he took that table bump really awkwardly, and he was holding the side of his head. That a worker would do that. A worker would hold the side of his head, to sell an injury, a fake injury.
he
But
probably did
I
hurt.
thought he
So.
got hurt. Yeah, I thought that Damian Priest did something and he landed wrong or something. But anyway, so you're right. It'll be super hot in Puerto Rico. That
Oh,
match.
just
Super hot.
the crowd will be just he's so over. So
Yeah.
what was it? His first appearance in WWE, he shot up to #1 in gimmick sales. He was the #1 seller in gimmicks, and he's a rap guy, not a WWE guy. So it's crazy. Yeah.
So, all right, at number 3, we have Sammy and KO and their crowning achievement and crowning moment of their career. You had it at number 3. I had it at number 5. I thought it was brilliant to main event them on night 1. Because the speculation was it was either to be the Cena match or it could have been the Charlotte match main eventing the first night. But Usos and Sammy and KO, I thought it was brilliant to go with that as the main. And I wrote in my notes, it's going to be a huge pop for the title change for this. And they ended up doing the title change. So just everything about it was good. The kickouts, all the ups and downs. We've talked about this on some of the other shows. The roller coaster ride that this match took you on, all the drama, the peaks and valleys. So I just thought Sammy hitting the 3 haluvas on Jay, just a phenomenal match. It was great to see because all 4 of these guys are hard workers. That was my other 5-star match from the first night.
Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I mean, I love the match, but I thought it was basically put together, really well put together. Don't get me wrong. I love the crowning moment, as you say, the idea of these 2 guys and Sammy being, and I'm going to talk about more. He was with Reigns. Everybody was worried about. I think they was more worried about whether the people were going to be mad because he's not going against Reigns than worrying about the storyline that was unfolding or was going to unfold with this. Love it because we do have part of the bloodline losing, so it puts some doubt in the back of your mind and all that kind of stuff with the bloodline storyline. Plus, you have Sammy and KO being able to wrestle as a team, and they love each other. They love working each other. We know this. They told everybody. They wrestled Private Party Monday night, and no, wait, was it Private Party? Who was it?
It would be the Street Profits.
Oh, it was Street Profits. My bad. They wrestled them Monday night. There's all kinds of teams that they can wrestle, and also the rematch. So there we go. I'm excited about that.
So just a great match, and like you said, they've been friends forever, and you know that regardless of what kind of angles they do and what kind of storylines they do, you know that those guys are best friends, and it was great to see the progression and some of the old photographs of them when they were kids together and stuff, wrestling in ROH and all the indies and stuff. So just a great moment for them. So I'm glad they finally believed in them enough to put those belts on them. So all right, at number 2, we have both women's title matches were great. We can agree on that. So I had them both at 4 stars. So anyway, so as far as our lists go, you had this at number 2. This was your number 2 takeaway, my number 3 takeaway. So you specifically called out the Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley match. I completely, not connected or anything, but I had them both ironically at 4 stars. So the Ripley and Flair match was a weird dynamic because I knew going into it, the crowd is not going to care about a babyface Charlotte Flair. She's a natural heel. She always gets on the crowd. They got on her. The dynamic was just really weird because you knew that they wanted to cheer Rhea, and Rhea is flat out a heel, So they wanted to cheer her, but that notwithstanding, they busted their asses. Charlotte came away bruised and battered from that match. I don't know if it was just accidental stuff, but her nose was scraped up. There was blood for sure. But just a great match. Slugfest spots, a war of attrition. It gets to the point where it's a war of attrition. So they do the knockout spot where she hits her head on the ring post, and then
Love
Rhea
that
hits the
spot.
second
She
riptide,
just died.
and Rhea
She
wins
died.
the title.
I love
And of
it.
course, the crowd goes crazy for it. So I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
that one at 4 stars. And then if we transition to the second night, one of the reasons why I like the Bianca and Asuka match so much is because it followed the Gunther match that the crowd was so into and was such a hard-hitting match. And I'm like, And I remember thinking like, oh, who the hell is going to get stuck following that match? And then they send the two girls out there, and they did follow that match.
It
They had a
started
great
really
match.
slow, and you wondered what the hell are they doing, and then all of a sudden, go back, y'all, go back and watch like maybe the last 7 minutes, 8 minutes of that match.
Mm-hmm.
So good. I gave it 4.25, and I gave the Charlotte match 5 stars. I mean 4.5 stars. So and it's unusual for me to love the girls matches more than
Yep.
you.
Yep.
But I thought that was really good. So
There was a spot in the Bianca match where she power bombed Asuka on the floor. And I think that's where it took off from that spot.
okay, yeah.
I
You're probably
specifically
right.
wrote down that spot because I'm like, holy shit, that was a tough bump on the floor. So it was a real good back and forth. They obviously, the two of them have great chemistry together. I like the little storyline where Bianca was getting pissed because Asuka just kept coming and she couldn't put her away. So I thought it told a really good story. And then finally, Bianca powers her up, gets the KOD on her for the win. So just two great matches from the women's titles. So
I agree. I love I just Charlotte. I have a problem with Charlotte sometimes because I think she puts stuff in the wrong places. Ever who the agent was, and I was going to pull that up because I got all the agents for that listed, but I did not pull it up. Ever who the agent was for that match needs a pat on the back because she put her moonsault in the exact spot they should have put it.
Yeah.
Charlotte, and I know you're the lookalike king, and I have a hard problem actually giving you people that I think look alike. But at first, I thought that was Dee Snider from Twisted Sister when she came out, and then I said, "Oh, it's Charlotte! It's Charlotte!" So, woo, that was a good one. You got to admit that's a good one.
That was pretty good. I saw a picture recently of Cher, who is like
her.
80
Yeah,
years.
yes, yeah. They
Cher
do
in a yellow or in a blonde wig.
Yep,
And
yep.
now we know what Charlotte's gonna look like when she's
Yep.
80 because it looked just like Charlotte. So
They
Cher
both
at
have
80 with
had
blonde hair.
record number of plastic surgeries. So there you go.
So, but two very good matches.
Very
for the
good
girls,
matches. Yes,
each
yes.
night. I'm really.
I even
happy
liked
that you...
the only girls match. I guess was there a girls match on second night. I really didn't pay no attention to, but I like the Trish match. I like the Trish, and I love Lita. She doesn't bother me that she's old and clunky, as you said.
Yeah.
I like that. So let's get number one.
There was the other girls match on night 2 was that 4-way tag match.
Yeah, I
Tag
I
match,
could
which
care
was-
less. I got up and pooped. So there you go.
That TMI, or KSI, but that was
LSI.
that was a nothing match. I will give you that for sure. I agree. That was a nothing match. So all right, number 1. Obviously, there's no other choice. So it's the Roman and Cody epic at number 1. We both had it at number 1 on our lists. Just a phenomenal match. The epitome of big fight feel. You know, it definitely had that with both of the ring entrances. Just magical ring entrances, both of these guys. So it started very methodical, very slow paced. I knew, going about the first 5 minutes of nothing really happening. I'm like, oh man, these guys are going long because there's nothing going on. And then they slam each other on the ramp. Just so many great moves. So again, just like the Sammy and KO match, so much drama up and down the roller coaster ride they took you on. They went half an hour. It had everything. It had the run-in from the Usos. It had the KO and Sammy coming out to save the day. But then they brawl off and they get off screen. So it goes back to just these two guys. So it became a war. Just everything about it was so good. Solo Sikoa getting kicked out and then coming back. And then the shock finish. I was shocked. I mean, everything led you to believe this was Cody's crowning moment, and they were finally, after 3 years, they were getting the title off of Roman, and it was going to go to Cody to finish the story. That's what the phrase that they kept saying all weekend long, finish the story. And then they didn't do it. They did the swerve where, just the typical Solo interferes, Roman hits the spear, and then that's it. Cody does the 1, 2, 3. So I will say I thought this was the time. I do think they screwed up. I know you're going to have a different viewpoint on that.
Oh, you're wrong on that, man. You are wrong.
It's been so long. You got to crescendo the story when the time is right, and the time
It's not
was
right. It's not
Okay.
right. It was not
Go
right.
ahead.
I actually wrote this down before I seen Paul Heyman said something like this, and Bully Ray's made a statement about it too. But I wrote down that night, this was not the end of the story.
Mm-hmm.
This was the start of Cody's story, and they made you believe. I was in
Mhm.
shock too, but as soon as I seen the finish, I understood what they were doing. You couldn't just give it to him on his first big chance. You just could not do it. You can go to the Rocky storyline if you want to, but you got to go to the. We got to feel something more. And let me tell you, I don't know if Cody could be more over now with the loss. Remember, the guy that loses, people are going to start getting even more people get behind him because they want him to take the belt. Something interesting that Bully Ray said today on Busted on Twitter, but it was on
Mhm.
Busted Radio. Is it what is? I can't remember
Busted
what it's.
open.
Busted Open Radio. Uh, is that when Paul mentioned those pay per views and those locations, he did not mention WrestleMania next year.
Mhm.
He just skipped it. So he said they would have a lot of balls, pretty much is what he said, for them to promote something for a year long. And, I told you when you were talking about the AEW pay per view, I thought one of the biggest pay per views, or one of my favorite pay per views, or best pay per view ever kind of thing, was Cena Rock, because in match too, because of the way it just took a whole year to build. There's so much going on with Roman Reigns and him, and the way he has built this. And you can say whatever you want to. We've been huge fans of Roman Reigns for a long time, but the last 3 years, it's just he's topping every Mania. Why would you want to take the belt off of him? And why wouldn't you try to build Cody even bigger? Cody's fixing to have a feud with Brock Lesnar, and Cody's going over. I promise you. And he's going to keep going over people. And then all of a sudden, he's going to get that title shot again, finally. And then either he's going to lose the second time and then win it the third time, which is possible. But no, I wasn't. Internet wrestling community was extremely
People were
upset with the finish.
pissed. Yeah, people
And
were
I
pissed.
was not. I really loved the finish. I was so shocked at first.
Mhm.
And then I sat for a little while and I started typing things. And when I saw him come out Monday night, Cody was to me more over Monday night. It just felt so like he always feels like a star, but at this point, I don't think even AEW that he owned, I don't think he could be more over right now until he does win the. I mean, he's so over. He's the number one babyface. Everyone loves him.
Mhm.
So, and then you got Roman Reigns, who I want to say carried the company, but every year, like I said, bigger
Mhm.
gates, bigger gates. People are going, 20 years from now, when we're dead and gone, they're going to write about how Roman Reigns helped the WWE business get it ready to be sold because of all the stuff that he did. And also, he took a lot of people with him. Think about, how over the Usos are now. They were over anyway. Solo, everybody knows who Solo is. Paul, who's always been good. And by the way, I do remember who did the Roman and Cody match. As you said, a masterpiece. It
Uh-huh.
was Michael P.S. Hayes. So we'll give some credit to Michael P.S. Hayes for the Roman Cody match. He was the producer and the agent on that. So
So
very, very good match. If you want, and Lance, you said some stuff. I know I'm going to talk about this forever, but you said some stuff like you said they weren't doing much. It was going to be, it
just
felt
slow
like it was going
paced.
to,
The
yeah.
first 5 minutes were
Yeah,
very
you
slow
said there,
paced.
but they are. That's the thing about it is, and it's the beauty. It's the
Yeah.
beauty of the business of a wrestling match. And two
Yeah.
guys who are so professional and so good at what they do.
Mhm.
They're building some. They are doing something, but not doing anything.
Right. Right.
It's kind of what do you do between the moves kind of thing,
Right. Right.
and it is they're building something, and it's kind of that match, the Zayn match. To me, I would put those for some wrestling schools and let them go through
Yep.
when it comes to single matches. Go through that. So yeah,
Agreed.
very good 2 nights, best pay per view ever. I had a great time watching it. The wife actually went out of town and I sit up in the recliner. And we're going to do Patreon here in a minute. I'm going to tell Lance a secret on
I
Patreon.
First off, I want to say I don't plan on being dead in 20 years, so you can take that and blow it out the window.
Oh
So
my God!
We may be dead and gone in 20 years. I'm like, I'm not gonna be dead in 20 years. But anyway,
hey, I will tell this on the main show. I dreamed like 2 nights ago that you got ran over by a subway
oh, God.
and you got killed. And John texted me, and and today you said you almost got ran over, and I was like, oh
hearse.
shit,
Yeah,
oh
almost
shit.
by a hearse. Anyway, so I do want to rebut you really quickly on a couple
All
of
right.
the points that you made. I think it's risky. I think the timing, and I know we disagree on this, I think
Yep.
the timing was right to do it here. I think it's risky because, for one, you never know what could be the time bomb of Roman's leukemia. You never know what could happen there. He may have to take another 6 months off, 10 months off, whatever.
I thought about that today too. Yes, I did.
And then also the Cody injury that he came back from. There's also that. And also, you're running the risk of the fans turning on Cody. We saw it in AEW. I don't think it'll happen. But
it will not happen here because he's
I don't
booked
think they'll
right.
allow it
he
to
wasn't
happen,
booked right in AEW. Yeah.
But I think they're running the risk of dragging out the story too long. I think that was the time to do it. I thought that was the moment to pull the trigger and finally do it. I'm thinking, can they drag it out to SummerSlam? Possibly, but you're talking about Mania altogether, which you're right. They could divert him off if Brock is sticking around, but Brock works 3 or 4 days a year at most, so I don't know if they can have Cody and Brock work that much together. I think Cody and Solo is the feud. That's where you're going to go with it.
Yeah, probably end up getting that too.
To give Cody something to do with somebody who's actually going to be around. But I just think it's risky. I think that you might start seeing fans
it's risky, but I'm not
checked out because they didn't pull the trigger when they should have. That's my opinion.
I loved it. I loved it.
I do see your points, though. I definitely see your points, and I hope you're right.
I know. I hope I'm right because I don't want the interest. My level of interest for WWE right now is a new high. I mean, I watch WWE as soon as I get up. I don't watch it live because I just don't watch it live. I spend time with the wife, so as soon as I get up, I have that Raw to watch or that SmackDown to watch, and it's become part of a routine. One thing I do the Shiznit Minute, by the way, Shiznit Minute every day, on one feed. So go to one of those feeds, and I want to know what's going on instead of waiting 3 or 4 days. But my interest, and I was thinking about this the other day, that morning when I was watching Raw, and I was just marking out with Roman and Cody in the ring and the whole, and thinking to myself, this just is so freaking awesome. And thinking that I could, as a fan, that we have something like this happening. It's so good. It's just so good. Right now, I would pick WWE over any of the promotions. I would watch that before I watch the other stuff. Yeah. So, all right, we got to get out of here, man. Thanks everybody
for Patreon to do.
Yeah. Thanks for and Save Bad Time, Save Bad Channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there, and as everyone knows, I love my mama.
And as everyone knows, I have fun everywhere I go. Congratulations to Reese's Peanut Butter Cups for winning the 14th annual
Woo! That was episode 699, baby.
Ow!
All right, hold on. Get off the feed.